What's going on, guys? Thomas XSL here. Welcome to the Junk Box. And today we're going to be talking about attaching the root prim to your motorcycles and cars. I had this requested from a friend of mine who wasn't quite sure when it came to scripting how to go about, I guess, putting the root prim onto the bike. And so today I'm going to teach you that. So the first step, like you see behind me, this bike's already been all linked together. It's already made, so that's the first step. Of course, is you build the bike how you want. And then if you see, there's quite a few people around me, I'll bring this down into, this is my mini map, I'm bringing into view. And as you can see, the bike is facing to the east. Whenever you res a fresh prim and you put vehicle scripts in it, the default for some reason is it has your avatar facing to the east. So you want to make sure that your bike or your car is facing to the east before you set the root prim. And that may be why when you see bots logged on, they always face the east too. Maybe that has, I'm guessing that has something to do with it. This bike in particular already has its root prim. If I click on it to edit, as you can see, my root prim is this yellow prim here. So this one's already set, but I'll show you the steps on how I did it. First thing I'm going to do, create. And some people do spheres and some people do different shapes. I just stick with the first one, a cube. That'll be just fine. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to texture, and I'm going to take off that plywood, just blank it, and then I'm going to go to stretch both sides, and I'm going to make it not completely flat, can't speak, but a little flat like that. Now since our bike is facing east, to match this up to this prim up to the bike so it's centered, so everything rides correctly, I'm going to click Edit Link Parts. Then I'm going to click on the frame. Then I'm going to go to Object, and right here where it says Position, this Y number right here that I'm highlighting, I want to copy that. And then I want to click on the cube. I'm left clicking, by the way. And then I want to highlight that one's Y. That one's Y axis. That is the axis going north to south. And I'm going to paste the previous number into it, and then I'm going to click on the above number, and then it's in place. I'm going to hit my camera so you can go to the side and see this a little better. I should have set up some more cameras. By the way, just in case anybody's curious, I am using Furware. Those little camera HUD. It's pretty cool to use, but I should have set up more camera angles. Okay, so here we have from the top. As you can see, this root prim is centered. Well, it doesn't look like it from the camera angle, but it is actually centered up with the frame of the bike. So it's centered. So now what I'm going to do is, now I'm going to lengthen it. I'm going to go and turn off stretch both sides because I don't want both sides to equally get stretched. I'm just going to pull the first part, the front part of it, just to right there. You don't need to go like all the way through your front wheel. Just right about here is good. I'm going to pull back, and then this one, the rear part of it, I get about right about an axle, right about where the axle is. And you can see how high it is from the ground, or yeah, how high it is to the ground. It's not, it's right about where the bottom of the frame is. That's not really particular. And then I'm going to put this over here. I'm going to go to taper on the object tab, and I'm going to start tapering the bottom arrow so the taper, it'll taper from the bottom. There we go. Now I got this big root prim here because if I hit any bumps or the road's rough or whatever, since this root prim is going to be physical, this bike is over 32 Prim, so my ACS KCP scripts are going to automatically phantom what prims need to be phantom. My tires themselves, let me see. If I just click on the tires, you can see on the general tab, they have the word solid in them. There's a space and then the word solid, and that's in both of the wheels. As long as you have the word solid there, that 32 Prim glitch is going to activate once you put the ACS scripts in. You won't have to do any additional steps for that to do its glitch thing. And even if you have an under 32 Prim motorcycle or car, it's a good idea to have this nice big root prim here. And then at this point you would click your bike, and then you would hold down shift left click to grab that prim, and then you would go in and then you would hit link and link it. But like I said, I already got a root prim in this bike, so I'm not going to do that. But you would do that, and then after you link it, and that block is the like here, the block's highlighted yellow, that's the root prim. Then what you're going to do is you'll go to edit link parts, then you'll click on that root prim, because it'll still be like this, it'll still have the blank texture, and then you go to texture, to alpha, and then you're going to put 1 0 in front of the other 0 that's already there, and then that's going to make just that one prim alone invisible, so you're not going to see it. But you'll have to hit edit link parts, otherwise if you don't and you do that, your whole bike's going to be clear. So let's say this is your car. So first thing you're going to do, edit, you're going to make sure it's facing the east, which this buggy is facing the east. Then you're going to go ahead and res your cube, blank the cube. Now for cars, with the motorcycles, it's really important to get that prim centered up. But for the car, since you're going to be sitting on one side of the root prim, I usually just eyeball that when it comes to widening that. I don't try to get it dead center, because for the motorcycle it's important because you got to be sitting right in the middle of the motorcycle. But for cars, I just tend to eyeball it, because you're going to be off to one side and the passenger's going to be off to one side. But like the bike, you pull it about to the front wheels. Pull this one, it's about to the back wheels. I got this itty bitty window I'm working in. Maybe pull the seat up just a little. Pull this seat up just a little. Seat. I'm looking at the seat and I'm saying seat. Pull this side up, I mean. And then like before, let me click that arrow off. There we go. Objects tab, and you're going to taper down like that. Now you got this nice ramp shaped prim. Your wheels are going to be solid just like on the bike. Let me see if I did it already. Edit link prims. Click on the wheels. Yep, it says solid. Alrighty, and the wheels aren't even linked. And there we go. Now, like here, there's a whole bunch of the root prim sticking out. So if you wanted to beforehand too, you could be 1 0 in front of that first 0 and the alpha on the texture tab. Then I just click over here on glow, and your invisible root prim awaits, and then you would just click on the buggy and then move your cursor to where you know that root prim is, hold down shift and then left click, and now object and link. There we go. and then you can res an additional block and make it blank, and you can make it invisible for the passenger seats, I mean. Or sometimes you could just stick with the actual car seat. Just edit link parts, click on the seat. Here it's a couple different pieces. It's not just the seat itself. But like here, since you got the root Prim is going to be holding your driver animation, you can go ahead and label this. Just label it, passenger seat, like that. And then in the contents, you put your ACS stuff for your passenger seat. Now for a motorcycle though, if you want a separate Prim, like a block Prim like that for your passenger seat on your motorcycle, you'll just have to follow the same steps you did to align the root Prim so their passenger seat is lined up with the frame right in the middle, sitting right in the middle of the bike. And then you can position it back. Or if you have a motorcycle seat like a passenger seat, you can just use that as a passenger seat and just label it like how I did. You can label it like how I did this buggy seat. In the general tab, it just says passenger seat, and then you drop in the passenger seat Prim and the passenger poses in there. Or you can use a motorcycle rear fender. That's a good one for the passenger seat. Because even if the passenger position is more than likely not really going to be on point, which you can just adjust the position using the ACS scripts, using that position adjuster. This round Prim right here, all I was doing, that just has a sit script, and then the motorcycle ride script that I was lining these handlebars and the seat and all that too on this bike. And if I click here, there's an invisible Prim, and I'm using that as my passenger seat, and it's all lined up to the frame like how I did the root Prim. And if I click on general, you'll see it says passenger seat. And then I'll just put my passenger poses, animations, and then the passenger script for the ACS script. See, this bike is not, I haven't scripted this bike yet. I'm actually still working on a little bit of it. I'm still working on it a bit more. Actually, when I do script it, I'll probably do a video on that, of like where the scripts go and how to quickly adjust the positions. But I've got a whole bunch of custom made poses for the park poses that I'm doing right now that are spaced out so they sit correctly on the bike, and there'll be less adjusting on my part as a creator. There'll be less work to adjust those poses, so they'll pretty much fall right into place right away, which will make my job easier and quicker to get the bikes out to y'all. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Like, rate, comment, ask me a question if I've skipped over something, or if there's a part that you don't understand. I'll be happy to help. And happy Second Life motorcycle building, guys. Take care, have fun, and see y'all in the next video.
If I could say one thing about you, you've got great tits.